Namaste. The Astrology of Orientation, a master script for the astrologers. Part 1. Welcome. In Jyotish, Vedic Astrology, a cosmic blueprints do not pass a moral judgment or label a human identity. Instead, they map out a fundamental flow of an individual's karma, desire, and the alignment of psychological and physical energies. Ancient medical and astrological texts like a Charaka Samhita and Brihat Jataka do not look at a non heteronormative path through a modern lens of a taboo. Instead, they identify a third biological and psychological variation known as a Tritiya Prakriti, the third nature of universe. The sages noted that if the paternal seed, Shukra, dominates at a conception, a masculine nature forms, a baby boy can be born. If the maternal seed, Shonita, dominates, a feminine nature forms, baby girl born. However, when these energies are perfectly equal, or when gender neutral, fluid planets dominate a cosmic landscape at a conception, a soul manifests with a Tritiya Prakriti, signifying a fluid, non binary, or a same sex orientation. So let's deep dive into this whole concept, the architectural houses of desire and psychology in your Kundalini. To evaluate native's orientation, we must look beyond a single house and examine a highly specific matrix of four critical houses: the Kama Trikona, third house, seventh house, and 11th house. The houses of desire form the behavioral triangle of how individual processes a companionship, connection, and social drive. The third house, primal drive, the subconscious root of what sparks our core interests, raw initiative, courage, and physical impulses. The seventh house, the mirror, partnership, represent the other. It shows the specific energy a native projects onto a partner or a sick to balance themselves with. The 11th house, social circle and gains, the realm of non traditional social groups, network circles, and unconventional karma fulfillment. The 5th house, the psychological catalyst. While the 7th house rules the partner, the 5th house rules a cheetah, the mind and emotional intention. It detects who or what you naturally fall in love with before any physical act takes place. When the fifth house or its lord is influenced by unconventional or neutral energies, the romantic mind is fundamentally wired to look outside a traditional templates. Let's see the eighth house, the hidden truth and intimacy, the realm of the hidden transformation, vulnerability, and deep psychological wiring. When planets of attraction sits here, desire is rarely bound by a societal rule, drawing the individual towards a private, intense, emotional truth. Let's see some planetary roles, the genders of cosmos. In Vedic astrology, categorize planets by their energetic gender properties. Masculine energy, Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. Feminine energy, Moon and Venus. Neuter or gender fluid, either we can tell as a Clebi energy, Mercury, fluidity, curiosity, and youth, while the Saturn is a non-conformity, suppression of traditional solar and lunar drives. Core planetary combination or a yogas also we have to see while we are checking our kundlis. Non-heteronormative signature occur when these energies cross path prominently in both the natal chart D1 and the soul marriage chart D9. Navmansh Kundli. The neuter influences, if Mercury and Saturn conjoin on an aspect the seventh house, the seventh lord, or the Lagna, the partner dynamically pulls away from a traditional male female archetype. Second, the Mars Venus sign exchange, that's called Parivartana Yoga. If Mars sits in a sign of a Venus, in a Taurus or a Libra, while the Venus sit in a sign of a Mars, Aries or a Scorpio, traditional boundaries of attraction blurs. Third, the Rahu Venus conjunction. Venus conjunct Rahu, especially in the house of 3rd, 5th, 8th, or a 12th, stripes away a societal rules governing who to love, amplifying unconventional or a pansexual desires. Fourth, a retrograde Venus is also called Vakra Shukra. When Venus is retrograde, it is directional strength. Chestabala is immense, but its energy turns completely inward. It alters the emotional grammar of romance, often causing a native to seek highly private relationship dynamics that defy a cultural conditioning. Let's deep dive into advanced technical layers like nakshatra and the nullification test. Fluid and boundary breaking nakshatra, mostly seen in our kundlis, signs are often too broad. A true precision lies in this nakshatra. Look closely. If Venus, the fifth lord or the seventh lord, sitting in this specific lunar mentions, first Aswini, Magha, and Mula, that's all Ketu ruled. Ketu dissolves a physical boundaries and represent a past life spiritual residue. It is influence detached the native from standard gender roles. Second, Ardra Nakshatra. Rahu ruled in Gemini, a dual sign nakshatra that creates intense emotional waves and desire to explore a fluid psychological duality. Third, Satabhisha Nakshatra. Rahu ruled in Aquarius, the star of hidden secret. It is fiercely independent, unconventional, and naturally ignores a societal taboos. Let's see regarding a Jupiter nullification test. As an astrologer, you will encounter chart with a textbook gay combination. For example, Venus Rahu or Saturn in a seventh house, where the native lives a completely traditional heterosexual life. Always check a Jupiter, Guru Graha. Jupiter represent dharma, traditional lineages, and societal structure. If a powerful, unaffiliated Jupiter aspect the seventh house, the seventh lord, or the Lagna, it acts as a stabilizing anchor. Even if the person experiences internal fluid desire, a strong Jupiter will frequently cause them to choose a traditional, socially accepted family path in favor of duty. Let's see few case studies regarding a planetary signatures in practice. When analyzing a historical or a public figures, a professional astrologer must always distinguish between a locked planetary position and speculative houses chart due to the unverified birth time. Let's take first example of Elton John, a verified birth time, a profound example of the Kama Trikon and progressive planetary interaction. His chart shows a highly active air sign dynamic influences his Venus, which is heavily stimulated by unconventional boundary breaking outer planetary alignment. This mirror his historic status as a trailblazer who completely redefined a traditional marital and family structure. Second, a Freddie Mercury, speculative houses and locked planets. While his exact birth time remained heavily debated among astrologers, shifting his house cups, his core planetary blueprint in a masterclass in Mercury ruled fluidity. He possesses a exact Venus Mars conjunction in Virgo, a dual Mercury ruled sign, alongside a fiery Sagittarius moon. This heavy concentration of a dual sign energy interacting directly with his planets of attraction perfectly reflect his famous bisexual fluidity and public persona that completely refuses to be confined to standard societal boxes. So let's see summary of this checklist while you're analyzing any of the chart from your part. To ensure a precise reading, systematically audit a chart across these four dimensions. The first, psyche and partner. Check 5th and 7th house for Mercury, Saturn, or Rahu. Second, the Karma matrix. Check for Venus, Mars, exchanges, or Venus retrograde. Third, the Navmans Kundli D9 chart. Confirm if D1 signatures carry over to the D9 Lagna or a 7th lord. Fourth, the critical veto. Check a nakshatra, Ardra, Satvisha, and verify if Jupiter is overriding or validating this orientation. Fifth, as you practice this whole the pattern of checklist, you get more clear ideas. So practice can give you a proper right direction to tell your client. Also, you can check by yourself with right knowledge. Thank you. See you in the next episode.